There it is. Yeah, look at this video.
Guys, if you don't have anything better to do, why don't you go set up the Raven? We have a coach coming to take a look at it later.
Sure.
The Raven end zone camera is our top-of-the-line end zone camera system. It's easy to set up and even easier to use, and it's trusted by some of the top professional football teams in the country. Manufactured in the USA by the inventor of the end zone camera, this system is like no other. Its self-pan tilt control handle makes one-person operation a breeze. It has been proven for over 20 years to be safe, sturdy, and reliable. It shouldn't take a normal person more than 5 minutes to set up, but with these interns, hopefully they'll be out there all day so we can finally have some peace and quiet here in the office.
Hey, can we get some help out here real fast?
No, I'm not helping you guys set it up. You need to learn on your own.
It's already set up. We just need a lookout right now.
A lookout?
Check it out. It only took us about 5 minutes to put up.
Wow.
Yeah, we're just spying on the neighbors right now.
Ah! No! Oh! No, God! Just as a disclaimer, the Raven and any sideline power product should only be used for athletic events. Do not spy on your neighbor. Please use responsibly. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. We're here at Ballin' with Bill, here with a special friend of mine I'm the former coach. He's still coaching, but known Kevin a long time. Kevin Crume from Nebraska Wesleyan. We'd like to thank Sideline Power and also Sports Boards for being our sponsors this year for Ballin' with Bill, the third season. And Coach Crume, great to have you on.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
That's my first question. Tell me about your football. So you played at Nebraska Wesleyan, before Nebraska Wesleyan, and how'd you end up at Nebraska Wesleyan?
Yeah, I guess I don't have a great story. I knew I was going to coach. I didn't know what level I was going to coach. I was kind of thinking I'd be a high school PE teacher, and whether that's a small school, big school, and probably coach football and wrestling.
That's right. You're another ex-wrestler.
Yeah. Love wrestling.
Guys, baby.
Yeah. And so really it was pretty simple. Coach Keller offered me a volunteer spot right after I got done playing. Actually, I turned him down. Wanted to get out and just go do my student teaching, and so I did that at Lincoln High back in 2002. John Farron was the head coach there. Let me coach.
John.
Yeah, let me coach, and that was great. And then the next year I came back to Wesleyan. I've been there ever since. So, yeah, here we are.
And so you went right from being a player to being a coach.
Yep.
What position did you play there? I'm trying to remember.
I was an outside linebacker.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So now you guys have had a lot of success there, and you've had your up and downs, but you had a lot of success. So what do you do on creating your culture to win and be successful, especially going to the new conference that you've been now for years? Because you were in the Nebraska conference a long time, and then GPAC, and now you're in there in the Iowa conference. So that had to be an adjustment. But how do you keep your culture going and with these by building new rivalries?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if we have a rival yet. Those things take time. Our old rival Doane, we've been playing for I think 101 years.
101 years. Yeah.
And so sad to see that rival go away, but at the same time, trying to build new ones is kind of fun too. And we were part of history with that whole switching of conferences. But as far as the culture goes, I think it comes down to recruiting the right players that fit your school. There's only so much us coaches can do. You have to get the right type of kids in there. We've always believed in hard work. Size doesn't matter, as we talk about myself and Coach Peterson there at Aurora. We want kids with a lot of heart and that know how to work hard. I think recruiting guys from winning football teams brings in that winning attitude as well. And so, we try to pinpoint it more on that. We do some competition things throughout the season, throughout the off season, throughout the summer months. Just try to keep everyone, in line and working toward the same goal.
Right, gotcha. So, go. Has there been a big adjustment in the new conference other than the travel for you guys? Is it the same type of play? Is it like playing the GPAC for all the years you guys did?
Yeah. So, I guess I can't really answer that because I don't really know what GPAC football is anymore. Cause
I know.
We don't watch the film.
When you think back,
when
you
we
played
think
coaching
back,
in the GPAC.
Yeah, the big thing is with the GPAC, being Division III in the American Rivers Conference. I think the you don't have really that one playmaker that's gonna just ruin your day. I mean, they
Like Sioux Falls,
like a Sioux
Morningside.
Falls, a Morningside. Concordia always had the really good wide receiver.
Right.
And so Hastings had the running backs.
Always had big stud running back.
Yes, they did. So really anymore, I mean, it's you have to defend the whole field. You can't just concentrate on a few players here or there. You got to defend the whole offense, and that's something these Iowa coaches do a great job of, is spreading the ball around, making you account for everything. Really smart coaches in our conference.
Oh, I know a lot of them too. They're good coaches. Yeah.
You probably know them better than I do. You probably see them more.
Well, let's talk. That's good. Leading right into my next question. So what are you doing now from when you started back after the season to now to getting yourself guys ready, getting everybody ready for August, Coach?
Yeah. So I mean, right now our guys are all gone. We've got probably about 40 to 50 guys staying in Lincoln.
That's not bad.
No, that's pretty good.
How many you have total now on the team, Coach?
We're sitting at about 130.
Okay, so that's a third of the team then staying back.
Yeah, we got a good sized roster, and we got a lot of guys. I mean, Lincoln's such a great place to stay. I mean, it's a great college town.
Right.
Tons of things for guys to do. So it's not, and it's easy to find jobs.
Right. That helps tremendously.
Right. So I mean, they've been doing that. They're doing the workouts and everything. Being Division III, they don't get access to a strength coach. We can't be there in the workouts at all. We can't go out there and do 7-on-7 with them like the NAI schools can right now. So I mean, they're totally on their own this summer. But we had a great spring ball. Teaching some new concepts on both sides of the ball at the same time, kind of polishing up on reteaching what we did in the fall too. So we saw a lot of growth, and the guys have access to all our stuff still.
So they did, but they pretty much, if they do it, you need to do it through their leadership and stuff. I mean,
correct.
Why can't a strength coach be there in D3?
It's just,
I know they can any other level.
Right. I guess that's just a Division III rule.
Okay.
Maybe to give a strength coach a little bit of a break too. At the same time, not pressuring kids to stay on campus. I mean, so it's kind of that Division III philosophy. Love of the game. That's why they're there.
Gotcha. Well, let's tell me about your returning players that you're very confident in for next year.
Yeah. I mean, anytime you get to start off bringing back your starting quarterback on offense, you got to be excited about that. Yeah. So Carter Terry started every game for us last year. Did a great job as a first-year starter in college. We got 2 more years with him, so that's really nice. I'm really excited about our running back too, Joshua Romaine from Colorado. He's really worked hard in the off season, and I think he's going to be a featured back in the conference this year. On defense, we have a lot of guys coming back. I'm really excited about our defense. We have a saying that we feel like we got about 20 to 25 guys that can step on the field and play for us right now, and that's at all levels. So I mean, we got a few Caleb Kais. He's starting Mike linebacker for us last year. Unfortunately, he got hurt in Game 4 against Loris. Tore up some meniscus, and but just that experience that he got finally in college ball. Max Brinker's another linebacker. He's from Omaha Scud.
Oh, I remember that name.
Yeah. He played in the Shrine Bowl his senior year or after graduation. Zach Buzmente had a great sophomore, freshman year, whatever it is now.
Mm-hmm. With the COVID thing.
The COVID year, it's hard to know what grade anybody is. TJ Roybal, a defensive end, he's from Auburn. He makes plays. I mean, there's nothing fancy about him, but the guy's a football player, and that's really good. Jacob Grauman from Freeman High School here in small town Nebraska, just south of Lincoln. He's the one guy coming back for a 5th year. I'm excited to see him, be a returning starter for us. So, we got some guys. It's going to be, it's always a challenge. Because we don't get to see these Iowa teams that much.
Right.
But we're really excited about what we're returning.
Any newcomers we should be looking at?
Yes. So there's a young man from Bennington, Chevalier Curry. He's a defensive lineman that we're really.
I watched him. Yes.
Yep. We're really excited about Chevy there. Going to be a good player. He's a strong kid. Yeah, he'd be an interior defensive lineman for us. We got a Riley Dillon from Lincoln Southwest. He'd be a linebacker for us. Really good football player. Let's see who else. We got a few coming from Colorado.
I know, Coach, you've always recruited hard.
Yeah. It's like it's Western Nebraska for us.
Yeah.
Dalen Booker, he's from Whitefield High School out there in
Okay,
Colorado
high school,
Springs. Got to watch quite a bit of film on him the other day, and just kept that excitement going for us. We're really pumped up about him.
Well, before we get you on the board, I just kind of want to tell us about your defensive philosophy, Coach.
Yeah, defense philosophy. I mean, we got something that we live by. We call it the bottom line. Kind of stole that from Stone Cold Steve Austin, another wrestler there.
Yeah, Stone Cold.
Yeah. So, honestly, we just want to be a bunch of badasses out there. We want that pure nature of intensity coming out in us on defense. A little bit different. Coach Keller has a saying back in the office, defense, they like the heavy metal, the Metallica. The offense, it's more orchestra, classical music,
I like the Metallica, but I'm on the offensive side.
Exactly. And so, our overall philosophy, we want to have attitude out there. No matter the situation, it doesn't matter. Our job's to prevent scores. And so everything we do is structured about your attitude, how you wake up in the morning, how you enter a class, how you enter a meeting, how you enter practice. You have an opportunity to get better every single day. And so your attitude shapes who you are that day. Cool. Ultimately, who you're going to be for us on Saturday.
Right.
So,
how you're going to show up to play.
Yep, how you're going to show up to play.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. We're going to take a break here, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Mark with Sideline Power. I'm here today to showcase Sideline Power's new drone to end zone kit, showing you just how easy it is to take your drone from practice to film a game with an end zone tower. With Sideline Power's new drone to end zone camera, you can quickly and easily transition from the ground to the air in seconds. The smart controller lets you easily pan and tilt the camera as needed and integrates with any sideline replay system. The drone mounting plate is compatible with any standard end zone camera tripod head. You can record up to 4 hours of gameplay without any battery swaps. No more sitting just behind the tripod thanks to the 4 miles of range from the controller to the drone itself. Capture any area of practice or game with the new Sideline Power drone to end zone camera. Visit sidelinepower.com for more information, and as always, stay powered up.
We ran a little bit of back at Dana days, but not as much today. You see more today. And like we were talking earlier, defenses had to change because offensive changes. Right. So what do you do to adjust to RPOs and all that now that's going on that you see more and more? Different type of, everybody runs a different type of RPO every week. See it this week, this style this week, and a different style next week.
Right.
How have you adapted to that defensively?
Yeah, so, back in the day, we all stacked the box, tried to stop the run. Now you're just trying to maintain balance all across the board. So, so traditionally, I'm going to draw it up at a 4-man front. We do a little bit of everything. So, put the back over there. So, as a team, we base out of the over front. All right, and we play a true, what we call an 8 technique on the tight end there. There's your traditional 3 technique. We get a 1 technique over here, and then what I call a 6 technique. I don't have that fancy numbering system like the 2 eyes, 4 eyes, but
right.
Now from there, offense spreads out. A lot of it comes down to matchups anymore. And so if an offensive changes their personnel, we're going to attempt to change our personnel too.
Right.
Try to match up that way. So we'll bring in a nickel. The nickel sets himself to the passing strength. In that case, it's to the right side. We'll line up our Mike to his number 3 receiver. Number 3 receivers in the backfield there. All right, and then our Sam backer will line up to his number 2. We always want to try to maintain some type of 2 high presence for the most part, at least pre-snap. So as we get lined up with the right safety and the left safety, some of it just depends on if they're attached or detached. That tells them their alignment there. And then it helps having good corners, that's for sure. So
any more today, yes.
Yep. Most teams run quarters concept anymore. That's no different with us. So the number one thing we have to do is we have to identify where's the passing side, where's the run side. So anytime the back is offset, we know this is automatically the passing side over here.
Okay,
right?
that's interesting. Okay.
So all these guys over here, they're playing pass first. That's the nickel, the corner, and the right safety. They're pass players first. Over on the left side, being it's away from the back, we've elected this to be the run side.
Okay.
All right, and so now we'll do some different things within the call to get different run support guys here. So technically, the Mike is responsible for that B gap right there. The Sam backer is responsible for that A, or he could give a call to our 3 technique to tighten him up, where that 3 can now squeeze that A gap. And that way he's a little bit closer to the tight end, which is his pass drop anyways. At the same time, play more straight ahead on the run game.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll do our best to incorporate one of those extra players. All right, so we playing an A technique. He is responsible for C gap, and then from there, however we get one of these 2 defensive backs in the game or in the run game, the most popular obviously is just keep this guy high. If he's getting any kind of mesh read here out of the quarterback, he's got to peek that tight end, make sure he's not releasing. Now he can go ahead and fill on the run, and that's our contained player right there.
Okay.
And so some of the RPOs that we do see, obviously everyone,
like top 3 you see.
yeah. So obviously everyone runs some form of the bubble,
right?
All right, and
Correct.
so depending on our call in the quarters concept here, you know, the easiest one is nickel. You take the out by number 2. All right, that keeps the safety deep. You know, the corner, now it's identified. You just keep your eyes on number 1. You're playing that number 1 receiver now, and then you have a little bit of help now inside with the right safety.
Right.
So that's the easy one. I guess not easy, but it's the most popular one. We do see the hitch concept, so just the complete opposite. Get that number 1 receiver, and then this guy goes and blocks the most dangerous.
Right.
All right. And so we want to pursue this inside out with the nickel, force the ball to go outside, and so that we always form kind of we get the fits. We have an inside fitter, outside fitter, and then this guy could now be a free runner on the throw.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then out of the 2x2 look,
Yeah, because that's probably the most dangerous, that RPO, because they can go either side.
they
now,
can go, yeah. So we do see a little bit of the reverse RPOs. You know, it's kind of a blind throw over
right.
here away
Yeah,
from the
I've
back,
seen people
but
go that now too.
but I still think that's a little bit dangerous. That has to be a good pre-snap read by that quarterback,
Right.
especially being he's thrown blind. So, you know, all the power to you.
Yeah.
And then other than that, we get the straight up hitches too.
Right.
You know, and then in which case the nickel, he'd take the number 2 corner. You can go ahead and drive on 1, and now we still have the deep safety.
That's why they're playing the pass first, so if they get that run, they're protecting themselves against the RPO
Correct.
with the throw, right? That way they don't get out of the run lane and
Yep.
get in the run lane and get out of the pass lane on you.
Yeah, back in the day, anytime we saw run, especially with teams running sweep and everything, where you get pin and pull.
Yeah. I used to run that one.
Yeah, we get pin and pull and then a cutoff. Some teams will actually pull this backside tackle, and that's another puller for you, and then they just read the defensive end.
Right.
And so that makes it a little bit tough just because you got 3 potential guys getting over here and
Right.
they're matched up man for man. Back in the day, we used to just tell this guy, hey, anytime you get run read, you go ahead and go.
We did the same thing.
Yeah. And now
We look for anything cutting back on the flow. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we get a fast flow mic, but we can't do that anymore because
Because if you're gone, they're going to throw right to that guy.
That's the quarterback's read right there.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah. If he sees him coming in, it's an automatic throw on any of those that I drew up.
Yeah.
And so what we've done is, you know, just adjusting to simple receivers. You know, the Mike can play that B gap, where now that alleviates stress on that nickel from playing the run game at all.
Do you bring pressures to offset this a little bit at all, or not? Or are you too worried about the RPO? I'm just asking.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
I mean, because you remember back, like, remember Northwestern back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
They'd bring 7, 8 guys every day in time.
Yeah.
But that's before everybody did the RPO.
Yep. So the RPO's changed. You know, we got some simple things. You know, we can, you know, as far as stopping the run.
Right.
You know, it all comes back to man coverage at some point.
Right. And can you cover them up?
And can you cover them up? So if we wanted to get a little pressure into the face of where the run's at, we can bring the corner here.
Yeah, the old corner thing. Because
Yep.
you still got the safety over the top just
Got
in
the
case.
safety. He's matching up here.
Right.
And now you can pull a free player, and at least that gets you another guy over there to the run side.
Right.
And now over here, unfortunately, you're locked up
locked man to man.
man. So you just gotta have to pick your poison.
That's exactly right. That's what makes the game fun.
Yep.
In my mind, is what do you do? How do you offset this stuff? I think as I watch the game continually progress, I think it's amazing how the defenses progress with it.
Right.
Because you're right, Coach. When you play, you're in the box.
Yeah, you're in the box. Yeah,
You're stopping that there. Yeah, I mean, and then you worried about the play pass second. You know,
Right.
what is your favorite? What are your worst nightmares as a passing game routes that bother you, that scare you the most, that keep you up at night?
Pretty simple. All verticals.
Still what we run.
Absolutely.
Why
Yes.
is that, Coach?
Well, anytime you run the verticals, most teams, like I mentioned, are in the quarters.
You know, that's one we put. That's Mummy's old thing. We used to do that, and still today, huh? That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's just you got to be.
Then
able
you
to
sneak the back off the verticals. That just drives people nuts.
Absolutely, you check release off that. And
Yeah.
that makes it pretty tough. So, I mean, just running these guys straight up vertical in a quarters concept, that turns into cover zero right now. And anytime you have those one-on-one matchups from an offense perspective, I'm looking at, where's my best chance? I'm going to throw it to my playmaker. And if our DB is not good enough to stop that playmaker on that one play, that could be the difference in the football game right there.
Right.
So anytime they start stretching the field, that makes it pretty tough on us.
Okay. The other thing that we try to do is unbalanced. Do you get much unbalanced? Because that makes you work too. Because you got to be sure everybody gets lined up right.
Correct. Yeah, so it's all a numbers game.
Right.
Yeah, and we do spend a lot of time on unbalance.
You can use unbalanced in passing game too.
Yes, you can. In fact, that's where you get a lot of the sprint outs anymore. So most teams will play with a true Y, and then they'll have their H back here, and then they get the receivers over, and then quarterback, for the most part, he's always in pistol here.
Okay.
So a couple schools have thought there. I mean, if they're heavy on this side, we want to be heavy on this side and slide our front. So we've put a defensive end in a 9 technique, slide our DT out to what I call a 4, then go more head up on the center. And now we're playing this guy more or less as a tight end over here.
Gotcha.
So we'll play what I call 5. So
Right.
and then as far as the backers, we just got to slide over a little bit. If we're playing our true 4-3 personnel, anytime there's a detached 2, we got to get that guy out of the box because that RPO is still a threat out
Oh
here.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And then from there we just do our numbers game.
Right.
And so
that's what because if you don't slide, if you don't get that call to slide, you do lead yourself in a
right.
pickle.
And at the same time, we can't overcompensate toward the strong side because with the split zone stuff,
They can still come back right there.
And now teams are running their quarterback out of it too. So
that does.
it's pretty tough.
Yeah, it is. That can keep you up.
That keeps you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's our number one way is just to slide. Make sure our numbers are accounted for on both sides.
Gotcha.
We want to be balanced.
Right.
Offense is balanced already. We want to be balanced within the formation that we get.
Cool. I think Coach do a heck of a job.
Yeah,
I appreciate
thanks.
this time and
Yeah.
being educated on defensive football. Coach.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Yeah, you bet.
Hello, we're back here for the final part of Ballin' with Bill here with Coach Crume. First of all, I just want to say you're one of our good customers. Tell us a little bit about your end zone camera that you use and the coach pad. I imagine you probably use the coach pad a lot because it's great for defensive coaches.
It is great for defense coaches. I mean, that thing's been a lifesaver for us. Jason's done a great job with it. He's easy to get in
Right. He's
touch
very,
with.
very,
So,
very easy to get a hold of.
and he's very passionate about what he created there too. So for us, it saved us a lot of time as far as scout cards and everything. I'm not arranging a binder or anything anymore.
Carrying them all out.
Yeah,
Having your GA bring them all out.
Yeah, exactly. And here in the state of Nebraska, it does get windy
and it rains.
and it rains. So we got the bag where it goes in, so we can keep it safe from the elements outside. And I mean, even on sunny days, we don't have the glare. And so
No, it does. It's amazing how it doesn't do that.
Yeah. And I have found out that I can actually create scout cards faster on a computer than if I hand drew them. So I mean, it is saving me time. And
in that business, that's important. Coach.
Yes. You do all the legwork right now, and you have all the formation templates, whether it's on the left hash, left middle, right, and you move a couple of guys around on the software part of it, and then upload it all to the coach pad. It works really well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know you use our end zone a lot
Yep.
too, because we're always taking after you after that.
Oh,
How's that
yeah.
been good for you?
Yeah,
Been good for you?
that's good. That's actually what we use on defense. That's on the north end zone, so that's our half of the field, and then obviously every game we take it with us. So
Right.
those are the most important shots right there, right behind the line. So
Yeah. I agree so too, because you get the linemen to know where everybody is.
Yep.
Far away, you can't see interior or linebacker play worth a darn.
no, you want to see what they're seeing.
Yeah.
And that's what we coach off of, especially up front and at the linebacker level. DBs, you still kind of stuck with that wide shot.
Yeah,
but-
because you got to see where the receivers go
Right.
and all that stuff. Yeah.
yeah, but
Well, anyway, we'll finish up here with Coach Crume. Goes back a long ways. He reminded me today. Of course, I'm opposite of Coach Crume. I've been hitting the head a lot more than he has with chairs and hard objects. But Coach was there as a player, and I do remember that now. A very good football player for Nebraska Wesleyan. Then he started coaching a couple years after I got to Dana, and was coached alongside, became defensive coordinator, and is a very good man. I know a good friend of his down in Aurora, Coach Peterson, who's a great guy. I had no idea that guy was an offensive tackle. Every time I met him, I thought he was a tight end or an outside backer. And talked to him many times, Coach. and so I got educated on that today too. But Coach Crume, you do an excellent job out there. I think you're an outstanding man. And I know when we always played, Dan and Wesleyan, it was a barn burner.
Yeah.
It was always a great game, great competitiveness, because I think it goes back to the Nebraska history and stuff. The long
Absolutely.
term being in the same conference for over 80, 90 years.
Yep. Yeah. It's you kind of miss playing all the Nebraska schools,
Because the history with all of
the
us.
history, and just being so close to one another, and we were all kind of rivals.
Yeah. You're right.
In our own
Hastings, Concordia, yes. So every week that was the game.
Yep, it truly meant something, and even with our new conference now, I mean, it's kind of, you're still playing football out there, and it matters, but nothing will beat those good old days there.
No, and the nice thing we all had, we didn't have to go very far to get to a game.
Right.
I mean, it was an easy day trip, and then you were home plenty of time in the night to get your stuff done or whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's been the big difference is trying to break down film still.
Yeah, you just probably try to do that while you're on the bus.
I
man.
do it on the bus. Yeah.
But anyway, I want to thank Coach Crume because I appreciate him and all his efforts for a long time. He's done a heck of a job for Nebraska Wesleyan. He's also an outstanding man and a great dad, and I'm glad. You're great to see, because been around. My dad was in this business, and I've been around this sport a long time, and it's great to see young men that you watched play, competed against, grow up to be fine, upstanding citizens and doing a great job for their programs and are good human beings. I appreciate that, Coach.
Yep. You bet. Yep.
It's great to have you aboard
Appreciate
today,
it, Coach.
Bill.
Yep.
Thanks, Coach.
You bet. Thank you.
Hey, man, we're out of here. We got the pro wrestling. We'll give it once. We haven't done this since for old times. Put your hand
been
up.
a while.
Coach.
Here we go.
Hush for all you fans.